Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the DC Collectibles action figure of the Penguin from Batman the Animated Series. The general shape and design of this figure is considerably different than the other figures in this series. There's also a lot less articulation on this figure, so if you're an articulation junkie, you might be a little disappointed. But I think they did a really good job with this figure as far as like translating the design of him into toy form. Because, you know, a lot of these figures had broad shoulders and like little tiny feet and little tiny ankles, but they really did a great job capturing the overall roundness, like the arch of his shoulder, his short squat legs, which, you know, contrast against their usual tall legs. I think this looks great. Now, let's talk articulation. He's got the little shoulder ball hinge, which only has a kind of a short range of motion, only about that much. And then you've got the single elbow joint, but it does have a pivot in it, so that's cool that you've got like at least, it's like instead of a mid bicep cut, you've got the elbow cut, which is cool, with the hinge. Then you've got the swiveling wrists, which also have a hinge to them. So I appreciate that. And then there is no mid-torso cut at all. And then also the legs, there's no mid-thigh cut. And the feet don't even really swivel. Like this one's kind of loose, but they both just kind of stay in that one place. So you have the leg that goes forward and back, and that's it. It doesn't even really go side to side. It's just one joint, which might bother people who like joints. Me, I still think the figure is fine because he's not going to need to do that much. And then also the head has a swivel to it, and that's it. Now let's look at the head because I think this looks really good. Now I wish that his mouthpiece wasn't like a separate piece that was attached. I hate looking at that little line there. It makes him look like a ventriloquist dummy. Having said that, I do think they did a great job with the lower lip meeting the upper lip. It creates like a good design to it. I think the eyes and the eyebrow paint look amazing. The nose looks good too, but overall his face looks solid. That little like the laugh lines right around his mouth, which give him kind of like a sneer look with his little fat cheeks, looks awesome. And the monocle looks really good. So props to them for getting all that right. And then the hair looks good too. The way it kind of lays out against his coat really looks like the way it did in the show. So I'm really happy that they honored that look from the show. Also, if you just look at like his vest and his little tie, like the coat and the design, everything looks like it should. So good job to them for that. I think his skin color like looks good, and like his little feet, despite the limited articulation, do look appropriate enough. So, here's some of the other accessories he comes with. He has the little figure stand, which he really doesn't need, but it's got the little character art on it, and then you just plug this little pole into the back there, and then this little, you know, slidey arm. If you've seen my other reviews, you know about the little slidey arms. And I guess you can open it really, really wide to like not hold him in, because it can't. This figure stand, let's be honest, is pretty pointless. But he comes with some really awesome accessories, including his umbrella, and it's in like animated stylized form, where it's got like a kind of a cartoony swoop to it, and like the little thing at the bottom here is like at an angle. And I love this kind of like cartoony stylized accessory. He also comes with an open umbrella. Here's like the top half, and it plugs into this other half, the little handle that comes with separately, and you have to assemble it yourself. But it does look pretty flippin' awesome, I think. And he comes with an alternate pair of hands. Well, two alternate pairs of hands. Open palm hands, because the regular one starts with fists. And then he's got grip hands, presumably for gripping his umbrella. And he comes with a little teacup and a spoon. Now, I gotta point out that the packaging says 15 pieces. And at first I'm like, 15 pieces? I don't see how that matches up. But we got the two pieces of the umbrella, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This thing makes 10, 11, 12, the figure stand. I guess the figure itself is 13. I'm like, where the hell did I get 15 from? And then I realized, I guess the instruction sheet and like the buy more figure sheet counts for 14 and 15. Which is weird that sheets of paper count as pieces, but I guess there you go. 15 pieces make this figure. That's just me being nitpicky about the way they're like, you know, putting stuff on the packaging, but still, I just thought it was worth noting. But this figure looks awesome. If you like the Penguin in the show, which I certainly did, you're probably going to be happy with this figure, because I'm really happy with it. I think he looks just awesome. They translated him really well. He looks really badass just hanging out at the table. I love him. Now let's put the umbrella in his hand before we end this. His left hand is a little bit open and looser than his right hand, so I recommend putting the open umbrella in his right hand if you want him to actually be able to grip it properly and hold it upright, because in the left hand it'll just slide right through. But the fact that both umbrellas fit into his hand and look good is awesome to me, and again, I like this figure. Thanks for watching.